왜 이렇게 똥 씹은 얼굴 하는 건데? 어디 보자. 씨, 봐. 야, 씨.
As the film begins, we see the car of a woman named Yo Yun as it breaks down in the snow. She calls her husband Soo Yun, whom we learn is a Korean secret agent. While talking to him on the phone, she is approached by a stranger who parks nearby. The stranger asks if she needs help and offers to help her fix her car. Yo Yun politely declines his offer, as she considered the fact that she is on a very quiet street, and the stranger could be dangerous. The man doesn't try forcing himself on her but simply walks back in the direction of his car. Yo Yun continues her chat with her husband, but the driver returns with a hammer and suddenly hits the car window until it shatters into pieces. The stranger suddenly bursts into the car and continually hits Yo Yun on the head with his hammer until she faints. After that, he drags her back to his vehicle and takes her to his residence, which also serves as a slaughterhouse. Yo Yun wakes up in a jolt as she surveys her environment and realizes that she is wrapped in plastic in the crazy man's lair. She notices him staring at her and begs him to spare her life since she is currently pregnant. Unfortunately, the woman is tortured and brutally murdered by the stranger. He finishes off his art by decapitating her, not noticing as her engagement ring rolls and falls into a sewer. Satisfied, the driver believes that he has gotten away with another murder. Unfortunately for him, we soon discover that he has picked the wrong victim to murder, as his latest victim is the fiancée of Kim Soo-hyun, an active agent in the National Intelligence Service. A few days later, Soo-hyun realizes that his fiancée has gone missing and surveys the area where her car was last seen. He sees 3 small children playing under a bridge that was not far from the driver's house. One of the kids finds a mysterious plastic bag. The boy is intrigued by it and opens it, but to his horror, he finds a piece of a human ear which Soo-hyun later discovers belongs to his ex-wife. The boy screams. He is joined by his friends who are horrified by his discovery. Later that night, the police survey the area around the bridge while searching for Yo Yun's remains. Squad Chief Jang, who is Yo Yun's father, is also present at the crime scene. He is filled with fear as he realizes that the corpse they're looking for might be his daughter. After searching for a while, they make the grim discovery of her severed head, when one of the police officers finds a suspicious object at the bottom of a shallow river. He uses a stick to move it to the surface before trying to invert the object to identify it. Sure enough, the object turns out to be Yo Yun's head. With a voice shaking with fear, the policeman calls out to the other police officers and tells them what he found. Unfortunately, his screams are also heard by journalists and residents who have gathered at the scene, causing an immediate uproar at the location. Soo-hyun arrives on the scene at this moment and tries to investigate the cause of the uproar but is blocked by the growing crowd of people who try to find out the reason for the commotion. Just when it seemed like things couldn't get any worse, a forensics member who was carrying a cardboard box containing Yo Yun's head accidentally falls, sending the head rolling out right in front of the group, and the chief and fiancé are immediately struck with anguish at the gruesome sight. They later find the rest of her body in a lake and gather the pieces for a proper burial. At her funeral, Soo-hyun doesn't hold back his tears. He is filled with grief about losing his future wife and kid, but his sadness is nothing compared to his anger. He vows to find the person who viciously killed his fiancée and promises that he will give them the most unimaginable and terrible form of pain before killing them. Unlike most typical revenge scenarios though, Soo-hyun plans to do much more than simply kill this psychopath, who we soon discover to be a man named Kyung-chul. Later, at work, Soo-hyun asks his boss for 2 weeks of leave, arguing that he needs a break. His boss lets him have his way, unaware that Soo-hyun plans on using the 2 weeks to exact revenge. Later, Soo-hyun is seen preparing everything he needs for his revenge plan. He asks a coworker to retrieve a capsule-shaped tracking device from the niche equipment before going on to research the profiles of the 4 suspects which were given to him by Squad Chief Jang. Like Soo-hyun, Squad Chief Jang also wants the villain behind his daughter's death to receive a punishment so severe that it could not be administered by legal means. Due to his thirst for vengeance, Jang secretly cooperates with Soo-hyun while keeping it secret from the cops. Later, Soo-hyun kicks into action and visits the apartment of one of the suspects. He beats him beyond recognition before tying him to a chair. Soo-hyun shows him photos of Yo-yeon in her car before questioning him to determine if the man is really the killer. But the man is completely clueless about Yo-yeon's murder, and that upsets him. Soo-hyun finds a way to cool off his temper by taking a wrench and using it to hit the man. The man is severely injured and Soo-hyun continues his search for the killer the following day. The next day, Soo-hyun tracks the second suspect and finds him riding on his motorbike. Acting quickly, Soo-hyun steps on the gas and hit the man, causing him to fall off his motorbike. Soo-hyun steps out of the car and interrogates the second suspect in the middle of the road. Soo-hyun tortures him until he is convinced that he is not the killer. Unfortunately, he is left in a sour mood as he realizes that the man is not the person he is looking for. Soo-hyun lets him go and returns home while feeling exhausted and frustrated. But the search won't last for long, as the third suspect is none other than Kyung-chul. While Soo-hyun searches for his fiancée's killer, Kyung-chul prepares to commit another heinous act. This time, he targets a woman waiting for a bus at an empty bus stop. Kyung-chul assaults her before kidnapping her and taking her to the slaughterhouse where he kills her with a guillotine. The next day, Soo-hyun starts looking for Kyung-chul by visiting his parents' house, while pretending to be an insurance agent. But he soon learns that Kyung-chul no longer lives with them. He also discovers that Kyung-chul has a young child whom he had left in the care of his elderly parents but never returned. Luckily for Soo-hyun, Kyung-chul's son arrives home, and it is through him that Soo-hyun finally gets information about where Kyung-chul lives. Without wasting any more time, Soo-hyun heads to Kyung-chul's house but no one answers the door. Soo-hyun realizes that the house is vacant and sneaks into it. While he's pained at the fact that Kyung-chul isn't present, he is glad to be presented with an opportunity to freely search the house. While conducting his search, Soo-hyun is stunned to find a ton of female underwear. And to make matters worse, he also finds a door that leads to the slaughter room, the place where Kyung-chul mutilated his victims. While investigating the blood-soaked room, Soo-hyun discovers his fiancée's engagement ring. He gains confidence that Kyung-chul is his wife's killer and promises to bring him to a grisly end. After discovering the location of Kyung-chul's hideout, the police, who are also investigating Yo-yeon's murder case, arrive at the school where Kyung-chul works as a bus driver. Unfortunately, they arrive too late as they're told that Kyung-chul just left to drop the school kids at home. This explains why he wasn't home when Soo-hyun went to his place. We soon discover that this job is, of course, a dream job for a crazy psychopath like him. Sure enough, after Soo-hyun drops off all the children, he takes the last girl on the bus to a plantation, where he plans to kill her. However, before Kyung-chul could touch her, Soo-hyun finds him. Thinking Soo-hyun was just a weak cop who came alone, he couldn't be more wrong. Kyung-chul tries to kill him but Soo-hyun overpowers him and knocks him unconscious by beating his head into a rock. Strangely, when Soo-hyun had the chance to kill Kyung-chul, he decides not to because he wants Kyung-chul to suffer before he takes his life. Soo-hyun changes his mind and shoves a tracking device down Kyung-chul's throat before breaking his hand. Kyung-chul awakens and is surprised to find an envelope full of money, given to him by Kim Soo-hyun. Unknown to him, Kim Soo-hyun had purposely left it there just so he could use it for treatment because he doesn't want him to die from his wounds as he plans on returning to kill him. Later, Kyung-chul stumbles along the road before spotting and stopping a taxi. He is picked up by 2 men who plan to rob and murder him. Kyung-chul kills them both before disposing of their bodies, including the body of the real cab driver which he found in the trunk. After he discards them, Jang visits a hospital to get medical attention and sexually assaults a nurse. Surprisingly, Soo-hyun shows up at that moment and slices his Achilles tendon before disappearing. Later in the evening, Kyung-chul wakes up in a terrible state in a deserted parking lot. It is now obvious to Kyung-chul that Soo-hyun does not want him dead, but instead to suffer as much as humanly possible. Kyung-chul hates the thought of being toyed with in such a manner and vows to destroy anyone who dares to mess with him. Later that night, the taxi that Kyung-chul had taken from his abductors and was now driving breaks down in the middle of nowhere, forcing him to look for someone whose car he could steal. Not long after, he spies the headlights of a speeding car and hides his knife behind his clothes. Kyung-chul steps out of the car, and motions for the driver to stop. But this time, he was unlucky, as the car he was about to steal turned out to be carrying a group of soldiers. He reluctantly gives up on his initial intentions before asking the soldiers to give him a ride. Meanwhile, Squad Chief Jang follows Kyung-chul from behind and calls Soo-hyun to let him know that the police are hunting for Kyung-chul. He asks Soo-hyun to stop chasing after Kyung-chul and let the police take care of him because he is worried about him and doesn't want him to get implicated. Yo-yeon's younger sister, Se-yeon, also asks Soo-hyun to stop while giving him the excuse that revenge won't bring Yo-yeon back to life. But Soo-hyun refuses and tells them that he plans on torturing Kyung-chul until he is satisfied. Later on, Kyung-chul visits his friend, a murderer and cannibal named Tae-yo who has a live-in girlfriend. There, he tells Tae-yo his situation and Tae-yo reveals that whoever is after him must be a family member of one of the women Kyung-chul killed. Upon hearing his theory, Kyung-chul can't help but think of Yo-yeon's engagement ring as he realizes that the man hunting him may be Yo-yeon's husband. Surprisingly, Tae-yo bursts out laughing. As he views Kyung-chul and Soo-hyun's antics as funny, he insults Soo-hyun and his fiancée, but they're unaware that Soo-hyun is already lurking in the corner. Soo-hyun gets vexed at Tae-yo's insults and incapacitates the trio upon entering the room. Soo-hyun then calls the police afterward in hopes that they would arrest Tae-yo and his girlfriend. Instead of leaving Kyung-chul for the police to catch him, Soo-hyun takes him to his hiding place to get him treated. Soo-hyun plans on treating him just so he could later release and torture him. But Soo-hyun's friend, who was asked to help treat Kyung-chul, talks about the tracking device that was inserted in Kyung-chul's body. Kyung-chul overhears them discussing the tracker and learns a way to get rid of it by pretending to be asleep in front of Soo-hyun. After Soo-hyun was sure that Kyung-chul was well rested, he takes him to an abandoned tunnel and releases him there. Now that he was aware of the tracking device and how to remove it, Kyung-chul laughs heartily as he challenges Soo-hyun while telling him that he'll make him regret not killing him right away. He also tells Soo-hyun that Yo-yeon was pregnant when he killed her, which comes as a shock to Soo-hyun, who had no idea that Yo-yeon was pregnant. After revealing this fact to Soo-hyun, Kyung-chul enters a pharmacy. By lying, Kyung-chul kills the pharmacist and steals some laxatives, which he then uses to flush out the tracker in a public restroom. Incidentally, right after he found the transmitter, a policeman with a stomachache enters the toilet. When seeing the cop, Kyung-chul gets an idea to outwit Soo-hyun. The idea, of course, involves a violent act, where he knocks down the police officer and forces the tracker down his throat. After that, Kyung-chul walks out of the pharmacy like the free man he is and rides off in the police car. Not long after, Soo-hyun arrives at the public restroom, only to find a policeman who has been beaten beyond recognition. Meanwhile, Kyung-chul contacts the police, while telling them that he plans on turning himself in because he doesn't want Soo-hyun to have the pleasure of murdering him. But of course, not before he takes care of some unfinished business. Soo-hyun enters Tae-yo's hospital room to question him, not knowing that Kyung-chul is going after Squad Chief Jang and his other daughter, Jang Se-yeon. Soo-hyun tears Tae-yo's mouth in rage after finding out about Kyung-chul's plan. He tries calling Chief Jang and Soo-hyun, but he calls a little too late as the father-daughter duo had already been captured by Kyung-chul. Kyung-chul then assaults them and attempts to escape Soo-hyun's revenge by surrendering himself to the police. However, Soo-hyun kidnaps Kyung-chul right in front of the police station. Kyung-chul awakens to find himself tied up inside his home. But despite being stabbed and tortured, Kyung-chul shows no remorse while telling Soo-hyun that he feels no pain, no fear, or anything else. Kim Soo-hyun places him in an elaborate guillotine, and Jang is forced to hold the rope of the mechanism between his teeth to keep himself from decapitation. While Soo-hyun leaves, an elderly couple and a child exit a taxi and approach the hideout. We soon discover that this is Kyung-chul's family. While his estranged parents and child knock on the door repeatedly, Kyung-chul begs them through clenched jaws to leave. Unfortunately, they let themselves in and instantly set off a mechanism that beheads Jang. Upon hearing their screams, his ethically wrong mission is completed. The movie draws to a tragic end as Soo-hyun walks away while crying uncontrollably, despite having gotten what he wanted.